Perfect. We'll start this game from Coach and then open up to questions. Coach, whenever you're ready.
Yeah, another great crowd tonight. Appreciated that we had our chancellor here, our head of the university school systems here, both ADs here. Had a lot of people that care about this team, rightly so. Too bad we didn't play better, quite honestly. It's you can't really complicate basketball at times, right? We missed 12 free throws. We got out rebounded by 12, and we had 15 turnovers. Like, that's just a pretty sloppy output. Didn't shoot it very well, but against Cal we didn't shoot it well. I thought our shot quality wasn't what it needed to be. In terms of especially when there was some game pressure through most of the game. Kind of, I think, some of those shots we didn't make, and some of them we didn't take the right shots. So they'll have to sit on that one a little bit before we get our next one.
How did rebounding affect, especially how this game turned out?
Yeah, I mean, rebounding, we said, they beat Oregon, they beat Washington, they beat Cal by out-rebounding them, right? We knew that if we could out-rebound them, we could win. Kind of forced our lineup a little bit. We had to just kind of continue to play double big and do all of that. These guys just literally kicked our guys on the glass.
And then their offensive rebounds there in the last few minutes.
That's what I mean, rebounding. It's whether it's offensive, they had 9 in the second half. They out-rebounded us by 12. Usually if you're the poor shooting team, you've got more opportunities to go to the glass. They missed, 23 shots, and they got 11 offensive rebounds. That's almost half, right? It's just not good enough. So we weren't tough enough, and then on top of it, we turned the ball over too much. And then when we were able to get to the free throw line, we didn't convert. And so they don't deserve that one. Quite honestly, they didn't deserve the win, and so they didn't.
What's the mentality when you know that statistically you're the worst free throw shooting team in the league?
Yeah.
And a close game, knowing that it's going to come down to that.
Yeah, it's the first shot they make, outside of a layup. So it's a team. You can be a poor free throw shooting team, but you can shoot. You can be the best 3-point shooting team in the country. That's concentration. It's quite honestly, right? It's much harder to make a three in live play than it is a free throw unguarded. Our guys haven't figured that out yet.
You play a really good Notre Dame team in a week from today. What's something you're going to focus on that they really do well, and then in practice this week that y'all are going to focus on to go into that game?
We kind of take it one game at a time. So we focus on ourselves a lot, and then we'll focus on their strengths. But we don't want to make this what it's not, right? What it is like I just said, we missed 12 free throws. If you make those 12 free throws, it doesn't even go into overtime, right? They missed 3 total. So that's a huge part of the game. And then, of course, the rebounding, which is just kind of will and effort. Our guys got out-toughed, quite honestly, on the glass. And then our ball control. You make sure that those lead guards and decision-making guards and our wings see what they were doing with the ball in their hands at times, so that we can take better care. In terms of Notre Dame, that's a week away. For a team as young as ours, a week, it's a long time. So we're not going to worry about them quite yet.
Going off of that, talking about the rebounding, Ciera, what were you personally seeing from Stanford on the boards? What was that kind of stuff like?
I think Coach said it, they just were out-toughing us in each position. It was in key moments, they were getting second chance opportunities and they were also converting them. I feel like that was when we saw the game really swing, and it was kind of just a matter of long shots, long rebounds, people being in the right space, but it basically just comes down to toughness, and it's a mentality too.
And you mentioned the late game. What was kind of that feel like? End of that fourth quarter going into overtime, what was kind of the feel like from their offensive standpoint playing defense? Yeah,
you work so hard to force a tough one that they miss, and then just like that, you're back on defense again.
And we turned it over. Our first possession of the overtime, we turned it over.
Yeah.
Our senior turned it over. That's kind of says it, right? And then they get their first offensive possession, they get the offensive rebound. Sort of the game, right there, over and over again, on repeat.
So, for much of the game, you get a lot of production inside offensively. Can you talk about how that came about?
Just been working really hard on it. I felt like I could put myself in good positions to score. People were getting me the ball in the right places, and just being tough, putting myself in good position, and finishing.
But how does it feel to bank so many good plays in regulation and then to see the overtime go as it did?
Any loss is tough. For it to happen that way it just sucks. That's one you want back, obviously. But yeah, I mean, obviously regulation, it was what it was, but we didn't play well in the important time.
Courtney, you
Yeah.
talked about. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
You talked about the turnovers a little bit, as well as giving up those offensive rebounds. What you sort of seeing from your team and like that
Carelessness on the offensive end. I mean, he's got, she had some really key turnovers. India had really key turnovers, and Nyla Harris had really key turnovers. I mean, Ciera turned it over 3 times. I mean, it takes a amount of, that's careless, quite honestly. It's just careless, right? And they have to, young teams have to learn in a lot of different ways. I get that, and I've been really patient as well as persistent. And now they're learning that your ball control matters, right? And so you've got to, you have to decide in those moments. It's not a scheme, right? It's if someone takes something away, you've got to go to your plan B. And we didn't do that very well. And then same thing with the glass. Like she said, some of these long shots, long rebounds, they were own rebounds, right? So then we didn't even block out the shooter. So that's just, they have to sit in it. I mean, they have to see it, and there's certain guys that didn't play well enough, and they know that, and they got to sit in it and regroup and go at it again.
I like the overtime loss to Louisville. It seemed like you guys were in control, played better for much of the game. Seemed like a different kind of flow than the Louisville game was.
Oh yeah, Louisville was really an anomaly. I'm not sure the league did us any favors of having us play out of the break after, we went out and played in the ACC SEC Challenge after playing in the tournament 3 games in a row. I mean, we were really tired, and it showed. I thought we were slow and a step slow to everything. It wasn't a lack of effort. They literally couldn't move at the level we needed them to. So Louisville, I didn't spend a lot of time on, quite honestly. I thought that wasn't us. It hadn't been us. This is more disappointing. I shouldn't even say disappointing. This is what you get when you don't block out, and when you turn the ball over, and when you miss free throws. Like, there's just no other way to say it. Like, this is what you get. You can't go beat an ACC team, whether you're home or away. It doesn't, turnover, it doesn't matter, home or away, right? Those are just, you had 12 chances, you left 12 chances on the board, and then you gave them 11 second chance places, and you gave up 15 possessions. You just threw them out with turnovers. Like, that is the game. It isn't one style versus another, or their 5 against our 5. It's just a level of concentration that we didn't have, and they'll either grow from it or they won't. I mean, I don't know how else to help with that. I mean, they'll either grow from that or they won't.
What was your message to the team after the game, and where do you think you go from here?
I'm until we get a chance to, I think you guys have seen me coach now a long time. I don't allow the emotion of it to take away the facts, right? That doesn't help anybody, right? And so I start with what the facts are, and so that's exactly what I did. I walked in and I said, what was the issue? And they knew. They said free throws. I said, yup, missed 12. They said rebounding. I said, yup, you got rebounded by 12. And then ball control, turned the ball over 15 times. Like, yes, there were some defensive breakdowns for both teams, right? We had some defensive breakdowns at key moments. Some fives shooting 21% from 3 and goes 50%, right? And there's some things that the game created some different things, but you don't want to overcomplicate it, right? Those are the things. And then the thing that stat sheet doesn't show is what our shot quality is, because some of those turnovers I then add, if we don't like the shot, then I add that into the turnover category after, right? And we wait until we can see that to do that, right? But in terms of those statistical things that are readily available, we sort of say it is what it is, right? And that's what it is, and add that in, that you shoot 21% from 3. Just statistically, if you look at this stat sheet before the game, you stay home, right? Because you can't win that game. You can't miss 12 free throws, turn the ball over 15 times, and get out rebounded by 12 and shoot 21% from 3. It's just like not a thing. But we did, and so therefore that's a loss. So we don't. I mean, so you can tell you, I don't allow the emotion of it to take away from facts. I don't let it to embellish facts. I don't let the emotion of it to take away their character. I mean, these are great kids that are committed to what we're doing, and this is factually what happened. And then they'll be off tomorrow. It's been 3 games in a week, and then we will regroup and get ready for work on ourselves, and then get ready for Notre Dame. It's alarmingly uninteresting, the job that I do, because I'm just remarkably consistent. That's what we'll do. These kids know, trust that on Tuesday we'll refocus on the things that make us better and where our strengths are, and then we'll continue to work. We work hard on our weaknesses, which is why you see CR getting so much better. We're not a team that gets better in the off season. We're a team that gets better every day.
Can I ask about Noelle Bafia? I don't know if I'm pronouncing her name correctly.
Mhm.
Is she following the same basic path as Taysa?
Yep,
Or,
so
or
she'll
she's
be
just
here.
going to practice with the
Yep.
team?
Or she'll train. I mean, whether she practices with our team or not, we care about developing her. So she'll get lots of workouts in, and she'll be in our weight room, and yeah, she'll have the same progression so that she's ready to help us when her, you know, not everybody's willing to do that. It's really grateful when they are, because she's forego her senior season. So she's not going to be a McDonald's All-American. She's not going to play in the Jordan Brand game. You have to give up a lot. She's not going to her senior prom, you know, all the things. But she wants to be ready to help this team when we need her, which is next November, and her being here early will certainly help that.
Any other questions? Great, thanks everyone.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Luke.